About 6 decades ago at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, the Union Jack was lowered and the Nigerian flag hoisted, birthing an independent state. Now at 61, the jury is still out on whether we've truly attained nationhood. However, despite the views on the state of the nation, Nigeria celebrated our independence across the country. And that's our focus on this episode of Special Report. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma.
We in Nigeria appreciate the advantages which the size of our country and of its population give us, but we have absolutely no aggressive intentions. We shall never impose ourselves upon any other country and shall treat every African territory, big or small, as our equal, because we honestly feel that it is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent.
Nigeria, a country of about 200 million people, became an independent state in 1960 after many years of colonial rule. Its vast population positions it as the most populous black nation in the world, with over 300 ethnic nationalities spread across the 774 local government areas in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. To mark the nation's independence, an annual parade is held across the country to celebrate Nigeria's anniversary. This year's celebration was done amidst fanfare since the COVID-19 pandemic did not allow for celebrations in 2020.
The providentially living ones are here on parade. The Nigerian Legion, commanded by Colonel Otuboike Oga Bashwa. He was born on 11th of August, 1954. He hails from Cross River State.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, in his speech to celebrate Nigeria's 61, restates his commitment to ensuring that the country remains united despite agitations for secession in some parts of the country.
East, West, North all came together to celebrate freedom. Today should not only serve as a reminder of the day the British handed over the reins of power to Nigerians, but also unified Nigerians from all ethnic groups, religions, and regions. Today, despite the challenges we face, most Nigerians still maintain the spirit of 1st October. Our resolve for a peaceful, united, and one Nigeria remains resolute and unwavering. That said, our hope is not to fight for peace. We can always settle our grievances peacefully without spilling any blood. I will therefore take this opportunity on this special day that symbolizes the unity and oneness of our great nation to ask all Nigerians to embrace peace and dialogue, whatever your grievances. The seeds of violence are planted in people's heads through words. Reckless utterances of a few have led to losses of many innocent lives and destruction of properties. Such unfiltered and unsubstantiated lies and hate speeches by a few evil persons must be stopped. Our media houses and commentators must move away from just reporting irresponsible remarks to investigating the truth behind all statements and presenting the facts to readers. We must all come out and speak against the lies being peddled.
Highlighting insecurity, the economy, and food security as a major challenge which the government is working on improving, he adds that he will continue to provide an enabling environment for citizens to achieve their dreams.
We remain confident that our goal of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years is achievable. Considering the positive impact of our social investment programs, I recently approved an increase in the number of N-Power program beneficiaries from 500,000 to 1 million. Out of this, 510,000 have started the program, while the competitive selection process for onboarding the outstanding 490,000 beneficiaries is in progress. The National Homegrown School Feeding Program is currently being implemented in 35 states of the Federation and the FCT. Over 103,000 women have been engaged and empowered as cooks under the program, while about 10 million pupils are being fed across public primary schools in the country. To grant increased access to credit to the most poor and vulnerable, I have directed an increase in the disbursement of government enterprise and empowerment program loans to an additional 1 million beneficiaries, laying more emphasis on the smallholding farmers through the Farmers' Money Program.
The president also appeals to Nigerians not to take COVID-19 lightly.
Nigerians came together as one to fight against COVID-19. It is this attitude, and by the special grace of God, we continue to survive the pandemic as a nation, and indeed provide leadership and example at regional and international levels. The doomsday scenario predicted for our country never came. Even as the Delta variant continues to spread, we have built the capacity we need to respond now and into the future. I will therefore appeal to Nigerians not to take COVID lightly. Adhere to public health and social measures. Put your mask on and get vaccinated. We can control this pandemic, but it requires effort on everybody's part. The investments we made in response to COVID-19 will also serve our country to tackle any future disease outbreaks or pandemics. Despite the global inequity in access to vaccines, the government of Nigeria has continued to explore all available options to ensure Nigerians have free access to safe and effective vaccines. Some 5 million vaccine doses have been administered to Nigerians through efforts led by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, and we will continue to explore options for purchase or acquisition of vaccines, such as through COVAX and the African Vaccine Acquisition Trust. I will take this opportunity to remind the global community that the current state of access to COVID-19 vaccines is unacceptable. We cannot afford a situation where a handful of countries keep the global vaccine supply to themselves at the expense of other nations.
At the Eagle Square, a guard of honor mounted by the Nigerian Army, the Navy, Air Force, and the police, among other military forces, are displayed. Governors across Nigeria's northern states are not left out in this year's celebration of the nation's 61st independence. A colorful atmosphere at the Sani Abacha Stadium as the governor of Kano State, Umaru Ganduje, joins other dignitaries to celebrate Nigeria's 61st independence celebration. parade by the military and other school children who participated in the march past, the state governor, Umaru Ganduje, called on Nigerian Governors Forum to wade into the crisis between the northern and the southern governors.
This issue of power shift. Whether power should go to the north, whether power should go to the south. Like I have been saying, the Constitution has not mentioned that power should shift from north to south, but it has been a tradition in the country to have power, to have zoning. And this zoning is a strategy by a political party. Each party has to develop a strategy on how to win election. If you think power shift will bring you votes to win election, you have not offended the Constitution. If you think you can retain leadership of this country forever and win election, the Constitution is not offended. So I thought this issue should be left to political parties to resolve. Not we as governors to have two opposing groups. That is important. So I urge the chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum to convene a meeting of the Governors Forum so that we apologize to each other for making uncomplimentary remarks on each other on an issue that is solely a political party issue.
In Nasarawa State, Governor Abdullahi Sule used the occasion to caution all to maintain existing peace in the state through the forthcoming local government elections.
We should be reminded that the task of building our state, Nasarawa State, is a dream that lies in every one of us. I beseech you all to continue to support this administration and partner with us in our collective commitment to the sustenance of peace and harmonious coexistence for socio-economic development of our dear state.
It's a day of double celebration for the government of Gombe State. Besides Independence Day celebration, the state is also marking its 25th anniversary since her creation.
December 2020, he is a graduate of law and he is a P&G.
The state governor reveals his desire to make the state one of the most productive in that region.
On coming to office on the 29th of May 2019, we strive to consolidate the achievements of all the past administrations. We took bold steps to confront the myriad of challenges facing our dear state. Our administration is pursuing a rapid and wide-ranging development by addressing long-standing infrastructure deficits through aggressive spending on roads, hospitals, and healthcare facilities, schools, water projects, and urban renewal. We've sustained our commitment to promoting all-inclusive growth and development by redressing the neglect of rural communities and low-income neighborhoods in the provision of dividends of democracy. Looking back at our momentous journey as a state, it is with deep sense of pride and joy that I admonish us to ponder over our history with a view to appreciating the struggles, sacrifices, and challenges that our leaders and founding fathers endured in order to actualize the collective dream of building a vibrant state at the center of the northeast geopolitical zone of the country.
Staying in the northeast, Governor Maro Fintiri of Adamawa State used the occasion of this year's celebration to commend health workers in the state for their contribution in containing the spread of COVID-19.
Our stubbornness has to do with the crisis of insecurity occasioned by activities of terrorist elements which have done the unimaginable challenge to our unity as a people. On an occasion like this, it is important that we remember all the precious souls that have been lost in the unprecedented war of terror, kidnapping, and the menace of Sheila boys and farmer herders, crisis before the advent of this administration, by individuals who wanted to compel us to live our life their own ways. They will not succeed. In their mission, they have maimed, they have killed men and women and children, rendering many children orphans and several women widows. They have made violence their ideology and are bent on destroying the peace of our people. Fellow sons and daughters of Adamawa State, we will not allow them. Night after night, day after day, our security forces continue to engage the terrorists in battle under my watch as governor and chief security officer of Adamawa State. My gratitude goes to men and women of our armed forces whose will has been greatly challenged by this insurgency at more any other time since the Civil War. Yet, they have remained undoubted and unwavered in the face of constant challenge and mortal danger.
The celebration in Niger State took a new dimension as the state government used the occasion to visit the internally displaced persons. The IDPs from 4 local government areas of Shiroro, Munya, Boso, and Rafi received a donation of 8,025 kilograms of rice and 2,000 packs of noodles to mark the celebration of Nigeria's independence anniversary.
We are celebrating today by symbolically receiving this gesture from the member representing Chanchaga Federal Constituency. As a government, this is a very appreciative gesture, more so that these items that are being given out today will be going to some very displaced people, the internally displaced persons who you all know are as a result of the security challenges that we are having in the state. I can see that specifically these items will be going to the IDPs in Shiroro, in Munya, and of course Rafi local governments. This is the nearest of the honorable members constituency, and believe me, I think we are very excited.
In Delta State, Nigeria's South-South region, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa urged Nigerians not to lose hope that the nation will soon come out of its present travails. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Kingsley Otwaro, insists there are many reasons to celebrate despite the myriad of challenges facing the nation today.
If you look carefully around you, you will definitely notice some positive changes in terms of new roads, new schools, housing projects, and improved living environment. We may not be where we hope to be, but we are certainly not where we used to be. For that, we should be thankful to God Almighty. Despite the travails of the moment, we must not despair. Do believe that Nigeria will come out of the present challenges stronger and better, poised to live up to his promise as the giant of Africa and subsequently the envy of the world. I urge us to keep praying for our political leaders while holding them accountable to the principles of good governance predicated on fairness, equity, and justice.
For Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, there is really nothing to be celebrated about Nigeria's independence at 61, except for the fact that the country has remained self-governed all these years. Governor Wike was accompanied to the parade ground in Port Harcourt, the state capital, by his wife, Ebere Nyesom Wike, reviewed the parade and set off the doves as a sign of peace.
To celebrate the 61st independence anniversary of our beloved nation, Nigeria. For 61 years, we have existed and lived together as one independent nation with our destiny in our hands. But at 61, it does not seem to me that there's anything worthy of celebrating, except perhaps the fact that we have remained independent and managed to struggle with our existence for all these years. At independence, we are not only and still the most popular black nation on earth, we have been the most influential country in Africa, a proud and beautiful heritage, and where we have made tremendous and immeasurable impact as a big brother. At independence, we are still a rich nation, the largest economy and market in Africa, notably wealthy in human and natural resources, with immense agrarian lands and related endowments that are more than adequate to feed ourselves and the rest of Africa, if properly harnessed. At independence, we are at par and even better in resource endowments and potential for development with our contemporaries like Malaysia, Singapore, and several other countries.
In Lagos, Nigeria's southwest region, the state governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says there is no reason for Nigerians to lose hope in the country, even in the midst of challenges. Sanwo-Olu said this during a parade to mark Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary celebration at the Agege Stadium in Lagos.
And of course the NNSC.
The governor said that as the country celebrated our independence, citizens were mindful of the various challenges confronting them as a nation and as a state.
Exactly 61 years ago, the struggle of our forefathers and nationalists to free our country from the shackles of colonialism and attain the status of a sovereign, independent nation came to a happy ending with the lowering of the Union Jack and the hosting of the green, white, green flag of Nigeria. In the years since then, so much has also happened to us as a country. We have fought a civil war. We have experienced several coups and counter-coups, and ultimately overcame military dictatorship and restored a democratic governance, even in the face of many challenges confronting us as a people and as a nation. My message to every Nigerian at this time is that we have no reason to lose hope. There's enough evidence around us of the fact that while we are not yet where we would like to be as a country and as a people, we're also no longer where we used to be. More than ever before, it is time for us to close ranks and to view our differences not as a stumbling block, but instead as an energizing force.
With this year's celebrations over, government at all levels are expected to go back to the drawing board and look out for solutions that could lead Nigeria out of the state of economic downturn while solving the issue of insecurity and remaining hopeful for a better country.
In the words of a Nigerian songwriter, we are all we have. Maybe that line in the song can serve as a nexus for all sides to come together and build a great nation. And that's it on this episode of the program. Again, happy Independence, Nigeria. Thanks for your time and, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Uzongo.